There's plenty that happens on a Royal Caribbean cruise, and certainly I talk a lot about that right here on our YouTube channel, but some things just don't get talked about all the time, but it seems to happen to everybody. And today, I'm going to pull the covers back and talk about the 6 things that happen on a cruise that nobody talks about up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and the appeal of going on a cruise is that so much of it is different than really anything else you might experience, certainly on land, but with that comes a few nuances that tend to fly under the radar. Now, millions of people go on a cruise every year, although maybe not this year, and it is a fantastic vacation option, but there are a few things that could happen that usually don't make like top 10 lists or cruise tips videos like this, so I wanted to highlight them here. These are 6 things that might happen to you on a cruise that no one really seems to talk about, but it's okay. It happens to a lot of people as well. Number 1, getting frustrated at some point. Now, this is not unique to cruising, but sometimes a series of unfortunate events occur that leave you less than happy. Getting frustrated or even having a meltdown in front of family and strangers happens to the best of us. We're all humans and we all have our tipping points. So occasionally something occurs that triggers someone, and that leads to a few minutes that we regret later on. One of the best pieces of cruise advice is try to be as flexible as possible. You can't control everything that occurs, and sometimes you just run into some bad luck. If an incident occurs that sets you off, try to remain calm and think that, is there something else that can fix the problem, such as another crew member or your travel agent at home? The key is not letting that incident ruin the rest of your day or your cruise for that matter. We all experience frustration, but try to remember the classic mantra of don't worry, be happy, and try to let it slide. At the end of the day, most of these incidents are things that we look back on and say, oh, while that wasn't great, not the end of the world either. Probably should have just turned the other cheek and moved on. So definitely don't let getting frustrated ruin your day or even the entire vacation. Number 2 is something called travel stomach. Another thing that's not unique to cruising, but certainly happens a lot in traveling, is an upset stomach. I'm not talking about a bacteria or something that infects you, just your run-of-the-mill grumpy gut. While bacterial infections can occur, many times the transition to a new diet, dehydration from flying, a change in climate, stress, and even a lack of sleep can cause simple traveler stomach. The good news is most of the time it's easily treated and a minor and short-lived inconvenience. You should always travel with medicine like maybe Pepto-Bismol or Imodium to quickly take care of the symptoms, and these can really make the difference between quote-unquote suffering through it versus being able to bounce back quickly. So the bottom line is, in all aspects of travel, sometimes this does occur, but don't let it again ruin the rest of your day. Take some over-the-counter medication and be, of course, prepared for it. Maybe take an extra nap, or better yet, keep hydrated, and that will help hopefully avoid it altogether. The next thing that you should definitely know about that happens a lot, but no one seems to talk about it, is sleeping through activities you wanted to do. Now, you'll see commercials for all the amazing activities on board a Royal Caribbean ship. Heck, I bet our video editor, Jenna, is inserting some awesome video footage right now of cool things to do on a Royal Caribbean cruise. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. I can't wait to do it on the ship. And then what happens? Yeah, you sleep in because you're on vacation. While these activities are really fun and Royal Caribbean bills itself as a cruise line packing in amazing things to do, more often than not, the appeal of sleeping in kind of wins over a lot of people. A cruise is a vacation, and sleep is important. And moreover, being able to sleep in is usually a rare opportunity at home, so a few more hours of sleep while on vacation is really appealing. If you ever manage to get up early on a ship, like before 9 a.m. or so, and walk around the ship, it looks almost deserted, quite frankly. So don't worry that you slept your cruise away, because we all do it too. The next thing that happens on a cruise more often than not is maybe having one too many drinks on a sea day. Now listen, we're all on vacation, having a good time, you get it, right? But despite your best of intentions, sometimes you might overdo it a little bit and have a few more drinks than you had planned. Between the fantastic drink package values, creative cocktails served on board, and of course the party atmosphere, overindulging does happen. The lesson learned is, of course, what your mother always told you when you went to college, which is to pace yourself and not try to keep up with anybody who has a crazy nickname like Big Dog Ron. Breaking up those drinks with a snack is also helpful as well. And my pro tip is maybe grabbing a slice or two of Sorrento's pizza late at night. Help soak up those drinks later on. But yeah, having a little too many drinks on board and then having to deal with the consequences the next day does occur. You're on vacation, so it is what it is, but yeah, it's been known to occur. Something else that happens on a cruise that I haven't talked about is the best DIY shore excursion out there, going to a supermarket. Yeah, I learned this tip from my friend at Billy from cruisehabit.com, and it really is such a great, inexpensive, and fun excursion when all else fails, which is to go to a local supermarket. The ports you will visit are usually known for things like amazing history, beautiful scenery, incredible things to do, and of course, fun days in the sun. But if your budget is low or you can't really find something that's terribly appealing, hop in a cab and visit a local supermarket. This is a really fun short excursion to do in a different country because it provides a lot of insight into the destination. You can browse the aisles and see what's for sale, who's shopping, how much things cost, and how to buy things. What's the popular snack food in that country? How are things packaged? You'll learn a lot by simply lurking around the supermarket, and of course, you can bring back some inexpensive souvenirs as well. And probably the worst thing that happens, and this happens to everybody who goes on a cruise, is readjusting to your routines after the cruise is just no fun. This is the biggest shock that every cruiser encounters, the inevitable return home after a cruise, and the subsequent culture shock of having to readjust to civilian life. You'll have to make your own beds every day with no one leaving towel animals behind you. There is no place to drop off your kids while you relax with other adults. You will not wake up to an ocean view from your balcony or be able to order room service coffee to go with that view. And worst of all, and this is the one that really gets me really upset, you will have to start cooking again and cleaning up after yourself. I know, it's crazy. It's not pretty. So be sure to have another cruise booked so that way you have something else to daydream about while you're waiting for your hot dogs to cook in your kitchen. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope these things were helpful. And listen, these aren't reasons not to go on a cruise, just something that you should be aware of when it comes down to your cruise actually rolling around. Of course, if I miss something out that you think happens to a lot of people on a cruise and no one really talks about it all that much, type it in the comments below this video. And while you're down there, make sure you like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe to our channel, and turn on your notifications so that way you're notified when we have a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.